a South African scientist has developed eco-friendly skin cosmetics from plant waste. Tshepo Mangoele founded a biomanufacturing company called LignOrganic. He uses lignin, which is found in the cell walls of plants, to make products including soaps and shampoos. CEO and founder of LignOrganic Tshepo Mangoele joins us this morning in studio. It's great to see you, Tshepo. Thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you very much for having me, Nisha.
I mean, I'm just reading through the story of how LignOrganics came to be, and it's such a fascinating one. Do you want to take us back to the beginning? How did this happen?
No, thank you very much for having me. So it started, I was still doing third year in university, so I was studying chemical engineering. And then we came across this problem around alien invasive plants. At that time, the City Parks and Zoo, Jozi City Parks and Zoo, wanted to come up with sort of solutions around this problem. So then I started sort of trying to find solutions around it, and in that journey I started sort of literally cooking the alien plants in my kitchen. Just to sort of try and see if I can come up with extractive methods, because at the time I didn't have access to labs. So I then started this journey of then cooking the plant material in my kitchen.
Okay, you're a scientist, so you'll tell me, like, you know, how do you get to cooking it? What made you take that step?
So essentially the cooking process, as you will, is sort of to break it down into three main components. So essentially plants contain three main components. People know paper, and paper is one of the main components, which is cellulose. So I was more focused on then trying to extract the other components, which is lignin and sugars, right? So in that journey of literally cooking it, we were actually sort of separating the three main components. So that's why I then sort of started to do that in an effort to try and sort of split apart the plant material so that I can then use the cellulose to make, at the time, fiber packaging for takeaways and that sort of thing. But in that journey, then I discovered lignin through a lot of explosions and the likes in my kitchen.
A lot of mess in your kitchen.
A lot of mess in my kitchen. I then discovered lignin. And then that's how sort of this journey that we're in now of actually using lignin, because I discovered it's such an amazing product, then tapping into various markets with the lignin. That's how it all started.
And is that new, the use of lignin for these, for the cosmetic products?
So the use of lignin for certain cosmetic products is new, right?
It's new.
Yeah. So for example, the use of lignin in soaps, for example, this is something that hasn't been done because we are able to sort of produce soap from these plant waste material. I mean, for example, if you think about it, we take sawdust and macadamia nutshells, and we're able to break them down and use those oils and the lignin within the plant to then create soaps. So this in itself is a new concept. But also what we're looking into is a little bit more new in terms of like using the lignin as it is and making 100% biodegradable makeup products. So that in itself is something that hasn't been done. But we're also working with other companies that are working on making sunscreens from lignin, because lignin is a UV blocker, so it blocks the rays from the sun.
So the first part of your process, the fiber packaging, did you say that didn't really take off, and so you sort of started looking at other avenues?
Yes. At the time, honestly, the South African market wasn't ready for fiber packaging, because we talk in 2017. So at that time, it was still new, and I spent about 6 months working on R&D, but also trying to find machinery for it. And from that frustration, I thought, I mean, maybe let me look into something else. Then that's where the discovery of lignin came in. But the market at the time wasn't ready, so I had to then move on to something else.
The step into the sort of, shall we say, pharmaceuticals and cosmetics industries, how did that come about for you? I mean, I'm sure there were a number of steps, you know, that you were doing on the fly that perhaps you don't even recall right now. But were these industries that you had always wanted to get into?
To be honest, though, I mean, in the beginning when we started with lignin, the aim was to try and see which markets we can tap into. So we actually made a bioplastic, which is dissolvable in water. So let's say if we were able to make like a spoon. So if you use a spoon, it ends up in the oceans, it would sort of dissolve and become the organic matter that it was made from. So in that journey also, from frustration, we saw that there's not a lot of uptake for that.
Really?
Yes, so there's many technical issues around it as well, in terms of producing it in South Africa and those sort of things. So we had to slightly pivot and look for markets that are easily penetrated. And that's where the cosmetics came in. We thought, I mean, we're already making a soap. What else could we do within the cosmetic industry? Because it's also very saturated.
Yeah, it is.
So we wanted to find products like Micellar water that...
Shall I give our viewers a look at it? So this is the Micellar water.
Yes.
And this is made from plant material only.
So yes, so this is 100% natural and biodegradable.
Right.
We made it from the sawdust and macadamia nuts. So we take the oils from the sawdust and macadamia nuts. We then formulate that into a biosurfactant soap,
yes,
if you will. And then from that, we're able to then formulate the micellar water using 100% natural products.
And what's been the uptake in the market?
It's been fairly okay, and I mean we could do better, but a lot of people that have used the product really love the product. Because what's also interesting about our product is that we've also formulated them for people with sensitive skin. So if you have sensitive skin, you can still use our hand wash.
Yeah.
And also pH, which is very detrimental to the skin. We've made sure that it's closer to the skin's pH as possible.
Yeah.
And the people that have used the products really love them. So.
Yeah.
That's been great for us.
Well, we wish you well, and I mean it's really beautifully packaged. I don't know if our viewers can get a nice. Let me try and put it in the middle of the table here, so our viewers can get a nice look at the packaging here. But all the best. I mean, you're certainly breaking new ground in an industry, as you say, that is saturated, and you've got, by the sounds of things, a number of other avenues that you could possibly branch into in the future as well.
Yes, yes, indeed. I mean, we are looking into tapping into the sunscreen market. We're tapping into the more active ingredients market in the pharmaceutical space. That's something we'll be doing later on.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of avenues we'll be tapping into with the Lignin product, yes.
Yeah, we wish you all the best. Tshepo Mangoele is the CEO and founder of LignOrganic. Check them out. I think he said on Takealot.
Yes, so the brand that is on Takealot is called Orfeel. So that's a brand
under, this one here.
Yes, yeah. The brand under LignOrganic, yes.
Thanks, Tshepo, for coming into studio. South Africans forging new ground in various industries. Great to talk to you this morning.